Hey, welcome back to YT Finance, and today we are talking about a director of Workhorse who is selling his shares of WKHS stock. Remember to subscribe right now, annihilate the like button for more Workhorse news videos, and comment down below your thoughts on these articles. We will also be talking about President Donald Trump and former Vice President Joe Biden and their impact on Workhorse stock. And lastly, we will talk about Workhorse's chances of obtaining the USPS contract, so let's get into it. One of Workhorse's directors sold his Workhorse stock, which was worth around $1.3 million. This Workhorse director sold around 50,000 WKHS stocks, which is pretty sus, because the USPS contract is coming up here really soon. He most likely knows something that we all don't, but don't be too worried about this because this Workhorse director still owns around 58,000 shares in Workhorse, which is valued close to $1.5 million. Workhorse stock has been down lately, dropping to $25.28, which is interesting because trading volume for WKHS shares was higher than normal, with a trading volume around 22 million compared to an average trading volume of 13 million. But overall, the stock still looks fine. The problem is that Workhorse stock has a negative 13.66 PE ratio and a very high beta ratio. Workhorse has also underperformed by only generating $0.09 million this quarter, which was much lower than Workhorse's expected $0.3 million target. Research analysts say that Workhorse Group will post negative returns per share before year's end. Many brokerages are lowering their original Workhorse ratings because of such news. For example, Collier Secure has lowered their Workhorse rating from buy to neutral because Workhorse's price target is now $11. Bid Ask Club lowered WKHS shares from a strong buy to just a buy. Value Engine lowered their Workhorse rating from buy to only hold. And lastly, Oppenheimer actually increased their rating to outperform, meaning it will beat the whole market, and said that Workhorse's price target for them is $23 per Workhorse share. Now, this is contrary from what other businesses think of Workhorse stock, because companies are still buying Workhorse. For example, Citigroup increased their shares of Workhorse by 300%. Bancorp bought 35,000 worth of WKHS. CapTrust bought 40,000 of Workhorse stock. Cambridge Investment increased their WKHS shares by 80%, and another company increased their Workhorse shares by over 400%. That's 4 times. And even ARK Investing bought more Workhorse stocks. 21% of Workhorse's stocks are actually owned by other companies, not retail investors, which is honestly not that surprising. But here is the problem with businesses and institutional investors buying Workhorse. This behavior increases insider selling. Just take a look at this Workhorse stock graph, which displays all the insider selling that is going on, especially if we look at Workhorse's Q1 and Q2 graphs of 2020. Now, this could cool off because we have something that could potentially calm this danger, and that is surprisingly the presidential election. If you had the patience to sit through the presidential debate, both sides said something very bullish for Workhorse. Both former Vice President Biden and President Trump are serious about the effects we are having on our environment. Both Vice President Joe Biden and President Donald Trump agreed for a second, and not to the same degree, that the environment needs better management and policies. This makes the author of the article and me very bullish on Workhorse, but wait, there's more. President Donald Trump is very forward when supporting companies like Lordstown Motors and Workhorse because he wants to bring back jobs. Both Workhorse and Lordstown Motors are electric vehicle green companies that produce zero harmful emissions from their products. Likewise, former Vice President Joe Biden also champions such green companies and renewable energy firms. So honestly, Workhorse could make do with either Joe Biden or Donald Trump as president, and either candidate will not impede Workhorse from obtaining the U.S. Postal Service contract. Previously, a bill was passed to give the United States Postal Service $25 billion to get new mail cars for its fleet. So I guess technically the USPS contract could be valued up to $25 billion, but the contract itself says around $6 billion, so I am going to stick with that more reasonable number. Plus, it's not like they are going to give away all $25 billion that they got from the government in a simple contract. Keep in mind that the USPS contract winner will be announced before year's end, although it is taking forever. Many investors are focused on Workhorse because they think Workhorse will clearly win the US Postal Service contract because their vehicle is an electric vehicle. Well, Oshkosh Corporation has electric vehicle technology, but their car still runs off of a combustion engine. So instead, look to Carson, who has made a hybrid electric plug-in vehicle. So Workhorse is technically not the only electric vehicle competitor. Honestly, I hope Workhorse gets the United States Postal Service contract because it will solve so many problems for Workhorse, including their price-sales ratio, which has ranked them lower than 99.9% of their competitors. Most people are investing in Workhorse based off of what the company can become, but not what their fundamentals are right now, which can be very dangerous. Although this author thinks Workhorse stock is highly overvalued now, if you hold on to it long enough, such as a 10-year period, Workhorse should pay off in the long run. And that's if Workhorse does not even win the USPS contract. Workhorse is unique because its sector is very niche, specific, and direct. In the upcoming years, fleet managers tend to expand their fleet and last-mile delivery vehicles, which is Workhorse's specialty, by about 50%. Add that to an industry that is already worth $18 billion. On top of that, they have existing partnerships with Ryder, UPS, Federal Express, and potentially the USPS contract, Walmart, and Amazon. You have a really big winner. Now, Amazon did just sign with Rivian to get some of their electric vehicles, so we can basically count Amazon out for now. But otherwise, this is very promising upcoming news for Workhorse. Although some investors are just blindly investing into Workhorse, if they hold WKHS stock long enough, it is bound to turn profitable eventually. When picking stocks, remember to do as much research as possible and don't jump on the bandwagon with other people. Workhorse also has a promising 2-year outlook because of their partnership with Lordstown Motors, who is about to merge with Diamond Peak Holdings to be traded publicly under the ticker symbol RIDE. Ride. The author emphasizes that Workhorse will be a great small investment to keep up to the next 10 years. The author of this article thinks that Workhorse is a good investment and that Workhorse will get a portion of the USPS contract. The news of the USPS contract will surely make WKHS shares rise, so be prepared to trade off of that, or at least don't buy more thinking that it will just continually go straight up from there. And that's your Workhorse news for today. Remember to subscribe, smash the like button, and I'll catch you in the next YT video.
Let's make this one.